This is raw water. This comes from the well. It's pre-filtered with this filter here. It should be a 75 to 25 DGD filter. It's a gradient filter. Right now I don't have them, so I stuck a regular 20 micron in there, but it will be one of those. And the cycling of these filters should be together. If you're going to change these, this one probably should be changed or at least looked at. This is the raw water. This comes from this filter. It goes through this one first. This is the largest micron filter. Should be no less than a 10. It could be a 5. So a 10 micron. This could probably be another 10 micron, but it's a carbon filter. This removes chlorine. And this should be no less or no more than 1. If it's a 1 micron, we're right. That's the smallest of the filters. After this filter, it goes through the RO filter, which takes it down to 0.1, and then it all passes through another carbon filter here. This carbon filter and this carbon filter should be changed together. There's a bacteria that starts growing in the carbon if you don't change it within 6 months. So this should probably be changed also. I recommend changing this one and this one together. This one may be fine, but if you change all three every 6 months, you've got a good schedule going. And the RO should be changed every year to 2 years. And the way you're going to be able to tell is if you don't get much water anymore. It won't filter, it'll be plugged. So you could probably change this every year. This is the RO, thank you. Reverse osmosis filter. There's a cap on it that unscrews, and you pull the filter out. It has a little rubber seal in it. You have to pull it, and then you clean this out. This all comes off. If I wasn't so old, I'd be able to do that faster. Make sure you have your hoses in right. They're color coded. Black is for the drain. That's what water goes by this filter to clean the RO as it filters, so you can get longer life. And that's that bleeder back here. This is telltale also. If this is not running and you're not able to filter, it's going to plug that RO filter real quick. So that should be running when you need water. You obviously don't need water. The need, like a toilet bowl float valve. As soon as you use the water out of this tank, I'll get over here, you can see it. See that white thing? Yeah. That's a float valve. So if I go like this, oh, I've got the water off. That helps. Anyway, if I go like that, it'll release water. If it comes up and it stops, this machine or RO filter will shut it down when it's full. So that's the demand. That's what tells us that it needs water. So this is waste. They call it recovery water, but this is waste. This is the good water, blue. And this line has to be replaced. There shouldn't be a coupling in it. That coupling will blow out every time because of the pressure inside. So this line needs to be replaced, and never do that again. If they want to release it, it's easy enough to release these. So you push in. Of course, I'm at the most awkward position in the world. So I'm not squeezing on anything, I'm just pushing in. And to get it back in, you push it in until you feel it kind of go inside a rubber O-ring. So it won't come out unless you push down on this.
Okay.
Okay, these filters, when they are changed, you need to release all the pressure off of them. And you need to make it continuous off. So what you want to do is turn it off here, like it is. That's off position. When it's on, it's in parallel. So off, and then you open this up. And you leave that open until you're done with all of them,
okay.
This one including.
Okay.
And when you turn it back on, you want to make sure this is open. It'll fill this up, And you want the crap water or whatever water to come out here first. And then you can turn that off and allow it to start filling. It'll take a little while for this to fill up. And you may have leaks because these aren't tight enough. So just crank them a little bit while they're on. You'll be fine. The booster pump, this pressurizes the RO water out of that tank into your systems. You have a system in here and a system over there that needs water. So this pumps clean water. And I've tried to use PVC and stainless on these because RO water is very corrosive. It's acidic. It's like rainwater. It's very low on the pH scale. Anyway, there's a shut-off valve here for the whole system if you need to turn it off. That's if you need to turn your systems off or work on anything past this. That valve down there, the suction valve on the bottom of the tank, should never be closed unless the pump is off. That's the blue handled valve. Yeah. That should never be closed unless this booster pump is turned off. And then this shouldn't be turned on until that's opened. It'll ruin the pump. You have a low level switch in the tank will cause it to turn off before the tank goes dry, so that's automatic. Anyway, again, this is the pre-fill. This is the UV light. There's a schedule on this also. This ultraviolet. It helps sanitize the water. It keeps the bacteria from breeding. Anyway, the way you tell it's on is if that green light's on. If you look in there, you should see some ultraviolet light. Mm-hmm. Every 3 to 4 months, there's a crystal in here. This should be taken off. This should be turned off first. This should be unscrewed, taken off, and the water should be turned off by then, by the way. I'm sorry, I should have said that. So turning the water off, everything off, is to turn this off and then drain whatever pressure is inside there. So we can do that by turning this valve on here. There's another valve here, but that's for the raw water. If you drain the water pressure off of this, then you're all right to be in here. So unplug this, unscrew this. The light comes out. Be very gentle with the light and set it somewhere so you don't break it. And then there's a crystal in there, a sleeve that has to be pulled. And the sealing ring is in here. So you pull that out and you wipe it off with a clean cloth. You do not touch it with your hands. The bulbs, the most important not to touch with your hands. But the crystal, wipe it off, stick it back in there, stick the light in there, turn it back on. And it's all right to be on without water, but you should have water in there. So turn the water. This is the water, excuse me, I'm full of it. Hold on, I'm getting there. Okay, yeah, this is the water pressure. So that's the water off. So you can do that. This is this one here has to be turned off to do this, or this filter. This is your main raw water. This should be off when you change these cartridge filters. Raw water filter. This is the first of the 4 filters that are here to clean the water. There shouldn't be a discrepancy or a differential between pressures more than 15 pounds. If there's a discrepancy between 10 to 15 pounds, no less than 50, no more than 15 pounds, let's just say 15 pounds. So if this sits at 60 and this sits at 45, it's time to change this filter. And that should only be checked when you're running water or when this thing is working. Water, if you want to fill a bottle. This is RO water if you wanted to fill it. It's clean. And this is the cycling valve. This is to cycle clean UV treated water into the clean tank there. Water that sits picks up bacteria from just any ambient source. So that tank has to be cycled. It takes 3 to 4 hours to cycle it. And when you crank this valve open to do that, and the water's off because I turned it off, You only crack it open a little bit, right about there. And then you let it cycle for 3 to 4 hours. And the pump will turn off and on according to the pressure that it needs. And that's what this pipe here is for. It shoots down into the water, just recycles UV water, so it keeps this tank clean.
So the Aerocro Z filters, which look like that, need to be changed every 6 months.
Okay,
and they're in a box like this.
yeah. Let me. This
Hello?
one because they have a. This one doesn't have one of the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. All the filters is every 6 months.
Oh, they are?
This one is every 6
Every
months.
6 months, that's the carbon filter
Mhm.
that Kevin was talking about, the middle one.
This is every 6 months too.
These are every 6 months. These are the melt blown filter cartridges.
Mm-hmm. And this one is. They say every 6 months. And on
These
the,
are every 6 months, and these are the. Not sure what those are, but those are the blue ones.
and the blue one is the.
Particulate, right?
Yeah, something.
That's the smallest particulate filter.
Yeah. Okay.
So in total, there's all those different filters.
Let's see, I don't see, 3, 5. They're usually 0.1 microns. 0.01.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that